Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Monday morning. It is now the 30th day of September 2024, the last day of the month. And even though we're ending September and getting ready to head into October, it doesn't mean that summer heat is quite done with us just yet. Only fitting after the hottest summer we have had and setting records for the number of days over 100 degrees in Sacramento. We may add another couple as we go through the next few days. Still no sign of any real big fall cool down just yet, but it will happen. Climatology tells us that. That's more climatology than a forecast at this point. But what we always see during the month of October is a really big drop off from temperatures in the 90s to near 100 at the beginning of the month, to by the end of the month, we're seeing highs in the 60s and 70s some days, and even a chance of rain, especially by the time we get to within a few days of Halloween. So we'll see how that plays out during the month of October. But this morning, we have clear skies throughout the area. Nothing in the way of marine layer once you get from Big Sur up to the north. The best marine layer is down south. There's also some smoke coming up from the south. That's what this is. This isn't cloud cover. It's smoke from some of the big fires burning in Southern California. We still have this light flow coming up our way. We may see some of that drift over the valley during the next couple of days because of the flow that we're going to see that I'll show you in just a little bit. And by the flow, I mean the flow aloft up around 10 to 15,000 feet, 20,000 feet, not necessarily the surface flow, which is going to be quite light. So as I mentioned, we really don't have anything in the way of a marine layer. So with that, we'll take a look at the marine layer here from the Fort Profiler, and you can see over the last 24 hours, it has just decreased down to just about nothing. So that means that even coastal areas like San Francisco will be quite warm over the next couple of days because we just don't have any marine layer. And for the valley, we won't have anything in the way of an onshore breeze. This is the wind this afternoon around 5 o'clock. Light winds, and the reason I use 5 o'clock is because that's about the time that we usually see the strongest onshore flow. Between, let's say, 5 and 8 o'clock in the evening, we usually see the best onshore flow. So if it's not going at 5 o'clock, it's not going to be going at all. There's even a bit of a north flow here in areas from Yolo County to the north. Not a howling north wind, but certainly nothing in the way of a cool onshore breeze, and that's why temperatures today are likely to reach the upper 90s. Then, as we get into the day tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, you can see that the areas in blue here, the areas where there's hardly anything in the way of wind, even extends down into Solano County. So no marine layer, and this is how coastal areas get very, very warm. And it's going to be a hot day tomorrow. Tomorrow, one of those days, we could see temperatures over 100. And then during the day on Wednesday, there may be a light onshore breeze in the afternoon. But Wednesday, also a day, we could see temperatures perhaps over 100. With that, let me show you the way that the HRRR is showing this. We usually don't use this as an exact forecast parameter, but it's just one of those elements we'll look at to see what kind of numbers it's coming up with. It can be a little high, it can be a little low sometimes. But so for this afternoon, and again, I've stopped this at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see around the Sacramento area, 95, 96, 97 comes up. You go toward the Chico area, Redding, Red Bluff, we could see temperatures around 100 according to this model. So that's this afternoon. We get into tomorrow afternoon. I'll stop this once again at 5 o'clock. And then we are seeing the model put out more temperatures around 102, 103. And we could even see some of the hottest spots in the valley, maybe as high as 103 or 104. The record for Tuesday in Sacramento is 101. Records for the rest of the week are at 102. So it gives you an idea. We could be seeing temperatures near record highs. This model doesn't go into the day on Wednesday, but we would see similar numbers on Wednesday. However, one of the other features you often see at this time of year is that even though we can go over 100 degrees, morning temperatures are likely to be down in the range of the low 60s. Some of the cooler spots may be down into the 50s. So cool mornings, relatively speaking, but still some hotter afternoons. That's the big difference with temperatures that heat up at this time of year. If we go to 102, we'll be over 100 degrees for a much shorter period of the day, maybe 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours, something like that, as opposed to July when we could be over 100 degrees for 6 or 7 hours. So here's the flow aloft, the 6Z run of the GFS. And I mentioned some of that smoke down south, and this is the flow at 18,000 feet, and it's now out of the east. And that contributes to the warm pattern, certainly the warm up that we're going to see. But also, if some of that smoke from down south kind of goes in this direction, we may see some of that come up our way. Again, I don't think it would be a surface air quality issue, but it could be one of those things that we see and dimming the sun a little bit or making the sky a little bit hazy. As we head into the afternoon on Tuesday and into the day on Wednesday, we just have this big, broad area of high pressure here with generally light winds aloft. We have this easterly flow here. So it's just not a fall pattern by any means. And that's why temperatures will stay quite warm. And look at that, just this big high right over us. And this is actually Wednesday night. So that's why Tuesday and Wednesday are likely to both be very, very warm days. Begins to break down, and we switch the overall flow by the time we get into Thursday and Friday, helping bring temperatures down. However, those temperatures are still likely to be above average for this time of year. Average is now in the range of the 86, 87 range, and obviously we're going to be well above that with the potential for some record highs on Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, the record on Tuesday for Sacramento is 101. On Wednesday, it's 102. So we're going to be at least in that range. Whether or not we break a record depends on, just those fickle things about 1 degree here or there, one way or the other. So, as I mentioned in the headline on Friday, seems like endless summer here in Northern California, and it continues this week. Eventually, we'll see a turn. It's just not going to happen this week. That's everything I've got for you this morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.